Teal, Palantir, stop the hate, stop the fear. Peter Teal, stop the hate, stop the fear. Peter Teal, Palantir, stop the hate, stop the fear. Stop the hate, stop the fear. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Education, not for war and occupation. Hey! Alright, bullhorns are dope, but this is a little bit louder. Alright, let's do the next one. Peter Teal. Peter Teal. Palantir, you can't hide. Oh, okay, we charge you in jail. Okay, cool. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Peter Teal, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Next one. Hey, Palantir, get off it. Our planet's not for profit. Hey, Palantir, our planet's not for profit. Hey, Palantir, get off it. Baby. This is better. Alrighty. Hey, let's start from the beginning. Palantir tracks and ICE attacks. 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 ICE out of SD. 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 Say it loud, clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the raid. When do we want it? Now. Peter Teal.
Stop the fear. Peter Teal, Palantir. Stop the hate. Stop the fear.
Peter Teal, Palantir. Stop the hate. Stop the fear. Peter Teal, Palantir. Stop the hate. Stop the fear. Peter Teal, Palantir. Stop the hate. Stop the fear. Peter Teal, Palantir. Stop the hate. Stop the fear. When I say what? Oh. When I say ice, you say out. Ice. Out. Ice. Out. When I say ice, you say out.
Ice out. Ice out.
When I say ice, you say out. Ice.
Out.
Ice.
Out.
When I say ice, you say out.
Out. Out. Out.
When I say ice, you say up, ice. When I say ice, you say up, ice. Ice, ice, ice out of SD.
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 What do we want?
Stop the raids.
When do we want?
Now.
What do we want?
Stop the raids. Now. Stop the raids. Now. Stop the raids.
Now.
Stop the raids.
Now. Stop the raids. Now. ICE attacks! ICE attacks! ICE attacks! ICE attacks! ICE attacks! ICE attacks! When I say ice, you say ice out of SD! 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 Immigrants are welcome. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What? When do we want it? Now. What? Stop the raids. Now. What do we want? Stop the raids. When do we want it? Now. Ice. Ice. Out. Ice. Out. Ice. Out. Ice. Out. Ice. Out. Ice out of SD. 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 Say it loud, say it clear. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome. keep up. ICE! 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 ICE out of SD. ICE out of SD. ICE out of SD. ICE. 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 ICE out of SD. ICE out of SD. ICE out of SD. ICE out of SD.
Ice out of SD.
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Hey, on the other page, it's in Spanish. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. 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 Y si no se echan, nos regamos. Echan, ok, echan. Y si nos echan, nos regamos. Regresamos. That's right, folks. Nos regamos. Regresamos. Aquí. Gracias. Aquí estamos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos. Y no. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. ¿Qué queremos? Justicia. ¿Cuándo? Ahora. ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? ¡Ahora! ¿Qué queremos? ¡Justicia! 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 ¿Cuándo? ¡Ahora! Se ve, se siente, inquilinos presente. Se ve, se siente, se ve. Se ve, se siente, ¿qué queremos? Arriba, abajo, la migra al carajo. 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 Uno. ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? Se bien, se siente, el pueblo está presente. Se ve, se siente, el pueblo está presente. ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? ¿Qué queremos? Ok. Un más minuto. ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Oh yeah, folks.
Hi everyone, so we're going to get started pretty soon with a press conference. We have a couple of different speakers who are going to speak today. I think that it looks pretty cool, all of you like standing facing toward the street, but the speaker is going to be kind of on this corner here, like using this little platform. So if folks want to come and like crowd behind them on the platform, I think that would be cool. We could get the banner visible. Really the theme of today is like people over billionaires, right? We know that, we know that these billionaires are profiting off of the pain and suffering and family separation that's going on right now. We know that this is not just about, you know, the increasing attacks on our communities. It's also about the fact that companies like Palantir have contracts with ICE and they're making billions of dollars. And just like always, you know, they're putting these billionaires over us, over our needs like housing, healthcare, education. So what we're here to say is stop the attacks, put people over billionaires. So we're going to get started soon with the press conference. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Grace. If some people would like to come crowd up here on the stage behind the speakers, that would be awesome. Especially maybe some of the people over here, yeah. Yeah, you guys can like get up on this platform and just like take up the whole thing. We want the cameras to really show the force of this movement, right?
All right.
Let's make sure some of these letter signs might be a little visible too. Letter signs. Do you guys want to come up towards the front so that we can see the awesome letters? Yeah, you guys could kind of... Yeah, perfect. I like how this person's right here doing it. That looks awesome. All right, you guys think we look powerful? All right, I'm gonna pass it over to today's press conference facilitator, Grace Rojas Jimenez.
Good morning. Buenos dias, everyone.
Buenos dias.
We recognize that we stand upon the ancestral homelands of Kumeyaay people since time immemorial. The Kumeyaay Nation are the original stewards of the land known as San Diego. We acknowledge our occupation of unceded Kumeyaay territory and the violent system injustices that have continuously perpetrated for Native peoples in this region. Despite enduring the horrors of genocide and colonization, the Kumeyaay spirit remains unbroken, culture and land. Today they carry their legacy forward, ensuring that their traditions continue to thrive in gratitude and strength. We stand with the Kumeyaay Nation, connected to our past and committed to the thriving future. Eye Han, my heart is good. My name is Grace Rojas Jimenez. My pronouns are she, they, ella. I am a member of ACE, the Alliance of California for Community Empowerment, a site-wide grassroots community organization dedicated to fighting for social, racial, and economic justice. We're here as part of National Day of Action demanding people over billionaires. Today's rallies are taking place in San Francisco, Palo Alto, Denver, New York, and other cities. People across the country are saying enough with the billionaires' first agenda. We are gathered here outside the federal courthouse where ICE holds offices because billionaire tech profiteers are getting richer. Yeah, they're getting richer off of human suffering while working families in San Diego live in fear and families are torn apart.
That's right.
Peter Thiel and companies like Palantir are turning our tax dollars into tools of oppression against our neighbors and communities. This past week, we've witnessed several parents getting kidnapped by ICE on their way to drop off and pick up their kids from school.
Shame!
Shame! Shame! Shame! Shame! This is the cost. This is the human cost of surveillance and deportation machine. Palantir, co-founded by billionaire Peter Thiel, has become ICE's go-to surveillance contractor. They're building the tech infrastructure that turbocharges family separations and kidnapping. Our tax dollars are enriching billionaires while funding a system that tears apart innocent families. Shame.
Shame!
Palantir surveillance technology doesn't just target immigrants. It's building the infrastructure for mass surveillance of all of us. Shame.
Shame!
This isn't just about immigration. It's about a system where billionaires profit from human misery. Shame.
Shame!
While families struggle with rising costs, billionaires like Thiel get richer from government contracts. Shame.
Shame!
The same company profiting from ICE kidnapping is also named in UN reports for profiting from genocide in Palestine. Shame.
Shame!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
We're fighting an economy that puts billionaire profits over people's lives and dignity. Shame.
Shame!
We demand to stop the ICE raids and kidnapping in our community.
Yes! Yes!
We demand that end taxpayer funding for surveillance profiteers like Palantir.
Yes! That's right!
And we demand it to invest our public dollars in housing, healthcare, education, things that actually help working families.
That's right!
Technology should improve people's lives, not enable government surveillance and control. Today we are going to hear from several speakers about the fight to protect our communities from ICE and the billionaires' first agenda. First, I would like to invite Seth from the Trust SD Coalition to come through. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Since 2019, the Trust SD Coalition has been fighting against the unchecked rise of abusive mass surveillance systems in San Diego. In 2020, we were able to convince our city to shut down the smart streetlight camera surveillance network.
Right, yeah.
In 2021, we were able to pull the microphones that they had deployed in neighborhoods for ShotSpotter, and we were able to get those devices removed. And now we find ourselves back here to talk today about Peter Thiel's mass surveillance and Peter Thiel's Palantir system. The fact of the matter is, right now, as we sit here, Peter Thiel's flock safety cameras are mounted on streetlights all around us, very nearby. These cameras are feeding our data into the Palantir system. This is all part of Peter Thiel's, system of surveillance, right? This is the billionaire surveillance state that has been created and that has grown up around us as we have all been searching for safety in our city. And I ask us, who makes us safe?
We do!
We make us safe. Who makes us safe?
We do!
That's right. We do not need a billionaire funded surveillance state to keep us safe. The reality is that safety is not when someone watches you through a camera and then dispatches, from far away somebody with a gun after something bad has already happened to come and deliver a bad attitude to the scene. That's not safety for our neighborhoods. That's not safety for our families. We keep us safe. We do not need them to use mass surveillance to keep us safe. We know that Palantir is a major threat to our values in our neighborhoods. It would be powerful if we could speak with one voice in our city and demand that we divest from Palantir. But my friends, we have a problem. We cannot speak with one voice because the people who lead our city divide our voices.
Shame!
Okay? We don't believe that surveillance is safety. But when our city reps go to city council to decide how to spend our money and what resources go to our neighborhoods, what do they say? They say more money for mass surveillance, less money for our neighbors, less money for the programs we need in our neighborhoods. This is a local problem that if we can speak with one voice, we can change this tide. We have the power to affect this kind of change. The cameras on those poles are feeding into Peter Thiel's surveillance flock safety network, and our city leaders think more surveillance is more safety. More money for Peter Thiel is more safety. Okay? I think that is not making us safe. I think it's feeding Peter Thiel's billionaire surveillance state machine. And I think that we can have a safe city without that nonsense. Flock right now is deploying all over this country drones with cameras, drones to suck up data, drones with facial recognition. They're plugging our bank records and our telephone records into this flock safety system. This is all part of this billionaire surveillance state system that is right now rising up around us. And that we must stand up and say with one voice, here in San Diego, we are not going to stand for that. That is not what we want. We should fire Peter Thiel from San Diego. We should fire Flock from San Diego. We should purge Palantir from San Diego. And in doing so, we should send a message all over the country that major cities are not on board with this, that we will reject this, that we demand safety through our communities, through our neighbors. We do not believe that arresting parents while they drop off kids at school is safety. That is not safety. I invite everybody to return back to your community groups, your unions. We stand in solidarity with SEIU and with the teachers union. We stand in solidarity in this struggle to claim what is safety in our neighborhoods. And I ask you to return back to your neighborhood groups and consider joining with the Trust Coalition as we take on this effort to return control of the safety narrative to San Diegans, to return our resources to San Diegans, and to say to Peter Thiel, you are fired.
Who's street? Our street! Who's street? Our street! Who's street? Our street! Who's street? Our street! Yeah!
Thank you, Seth. We really appreciate your knowledge and your voice. Next, we're going to hear from Kyle Weinberg, President of the San Diego Educators Association.
Right, good to see everyone here. Can we feel our power? Can we feel our solidarity? I'm Kyle Weinberg, middle school teacher, president of San Diego Education Association, proudly organizing with over 6,000 union educators in San Diego Unified School District. My entire career, I've taught in immigrant neighborhoods, whether it was City Heights, Logan, Chula Vista, Southeast San Diego, and for many of my students, living so close to the border was a terrifying experience, whether it was harassment on the trolley on the way to school, or when crossing the border to visit their family in Tijuana. My students and I, together with community organizations, advocated for accountability for the Border Patrol agents who murdered Anastasio Hernandez Rojas 15 years ago. In May of this year, the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights finally found the United States responsible for the killing, torture, and deprivation of liberty of Anastasio. For months, SDA educators have been looking for ways to shield our school communities from ICE terror. We have been attacked in our communities, and the integrity of our schools is at risk. Last week, masked ICE agents kidnapped a parent while they waited to pick up their child from Linda Vista Elementary. Similar kidnappings happened at a school in Chula Vista 2 weeks ago and in Encinitas on Wednesday.
ICE out of SD!
ICE out of SD!
ICE out of SD!
ICE out of SD!
ICE out of SD! ICE out of SD!
And we know that this is only the beginning of what the federal administration is capable of. ICE just got a massive increase to their funding that is more than the budget for most of the armies on the entire planet. We're watching this unfold as educators who are already doing so much in under-resourced schools, and we know how those tax dollars could be spent. To feed students who come to school hungry. To help low-income families afford college. To hire more special education teachers. The federal administration is attacking public schools, attacking our immigrant communities, and attacking democracy. This isn't about wasted money. It's about billionaires profiting from deportations. While our children in our schools get the bare minimum, this fully funded deportation machine is making money for billionaire tech companies like Palantir. Since last school year, we have been fighting as SDA educators for safe, stable, and fully funded schools. This administration is just making that fight more urgent. And we know that when we are going to have to organize to protect our communities beyond our classrooms and the doors of our schools. As educators, we know that what happens off campus impacts our students. And as unit educators, we know we have the power to come together to defend our schools and the communities that we serve. This week, SDA members joined hundreds of labor and community allies at a nonviolent direct action training hosted by the Labor Council and the UCSD Labor Center. Who was at that training on Tuesday? We've seen educators across the country standing up to ICE raids, and we know we need to build our capacity to do the same here in San Diego, alongside our community partners and our labor allies. This morning at Ibarra Elementary in City Heights, ICE vehicles were in the school parking lot waiting for families to arrive. An Unión del Barrio Community Patrol was activated, and they were able to get them to leave. And no harm was done to our school community. Because when we mobilize together to defend our students, our combined pressure works, because when we fight,
We win!
and when we fight,
We win!
so are you with me?
Yes!
Will you stand up and fight back?
Yes!
When our schools are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When our students are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Se puede?
Sí se puede!
Se puede?
Sí se puede!
Let's get it!
Now I'd like to invite Angel Mendez for Detention Resistance to speak about the work they are doing to protect community members from ICE. Angel, come through. All right.
Enter.
Hello, everyone. Buenos dias. So, today marks the third consecutive month that ICE has been kidnapping our immigrant friends and families at this federal immigration court. 3 months of fulfilling kidnapping quotas in the halls of our justice system, all to satisfy Trump's xenophobic base. A base that has fallen into its worst instincts because of the economic precarity we've conditioned everyday people to accept, and that funds ever-increasing profits for the billionaire class. But let's not make excuses and name the following. The targeting of working class black and brown immigrants serves a dual purpose in keeping an exploited labor force in check and pushing them deeper into the shadows. Exploitation and cruelty is the intent to keep us divided on racial lines and disrupt class solidarity. And in classic opportunistic fashion, fuel an economic sector that profits off of mass detention, we suffer while core civic profits from incarcerating our neighbors, our friends, our fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters. For the past 3 months, community members and advocate organizations have witnessed, documented, and developed nonviolent practices in accompanying our community through these difficult times. As Detention Resistance, we thank the wider community that has once again stepped in with immigrant communities where local leadership is missing. Every single day since May 22, ICE has relentlessly persecuted our community. Just this week, we've seen an advance in surveillance through ankle monitors. You either leave the courts with an ankle monitor or you are being detained. ICE is in the streets, our courts, and now wants to follow you into your homes and communities. As we gather for this National Day of Action, we call on our communities to join community defense efforts with discipline and the clarity that ICE has no place in our society. We stand with the millions of undocumented brothers and sisters and siblings who contribute more to our lives than a class of billionaires who evade paying their fair share in taxes and squeeze out the last cent from our collective pockets. We deserve better. We will have better. And we name the grim reality that our billionaire-captured government's agenda for hunger, housing insecurity, and wage issues is a police state. $75 billion in the busted, bugly bill to detain and send ICE into our homes. It's time to abolish ICE and fund a better future.
Thank you, Angel. Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE!
Thank you. Now we're going to hear from Shanika from Tanggol Migrante Movement and Anakbayan. So come on through.
Hello everyone. How are y'all feeling? It's a beautiful day to be out here amongst allies and friends. My name is Shanika Lazo. I'm a member of Anakbayan San Diego. We're an organization of fighting Filipino youth who do not accept the conditions of poverty and government corruption of our homeland, and we are fighting for a truly independent, sovereign, and democratic nation that is not under the throes of U.S. imperialism. As Anakbayan San Diego, we've been working closely with other Filipino organizations here locally to build the Tanggol Migrante movement, which is a nationwide movement made of migrants, made of undocumented workers, made of families whose loved ones have been in ICE detention for years. This past Sunday, we had a press conference that spanned from San Diego to the Philippines. Those who joined are people who are directly impacted by these fascist attacks against migrants, against workers, against families, against our communities here. Here in San Diego, we were joined by Jane, whose mother, Lola Bebe, recently decided to make the very difficult and heartbreaking decision to self-deport and go back to the Philippines because her ICE check-in was here last week, and her ICE officer told her that she would pretty much get arrested and be thrown into ICE detention again, where she already was back in 2003 or 4, where she was severely traumatized. She has severe PTSD from her time there. And so frightened, Lola Bebe, who has been an active volunteer for St. Michael's Church, Catholic Church in Paradise Hills since 1997, and who was so beloved by her church community that over 300 people in the course of 2 days signed a letter saying that she deserves to be here with her family. But now she's back in the Philippines, which a country that is foreign to her now, a country that is plagued by flooding over there. Her sisters don't have a house for her to go back to because of the floods.
Shame!
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 Shame! Shame!
She doesn't have access to the necessary health care that she was getting here.
Shame!
Because she worked an honest living and was able to get health insurance. But over there, within the first 2 days that she was there, she was in a hospital.
Shame!
She had to board a bus at midnight to get to the hospital because the hospitals in the Philippines are so far-flung and so rare because the Philippine government does not provide for its people.
Shame!
And under this current crisis, this economic, political crisis, these attacks on our people, what is the Philippine government doing? What is Marcos Jr., the current president, the son of a dictator, what is he doing?
Nothing!
Instead, he came here to Washington, D.C. last month to meet with Trump to beg for lower tariffs.
Shame!
For lower tariffs for goods made from resources from the Philippines.
Shame!
From goods made with the exploited labor of our people.
Shame!
Why are there tariffs on that?
Shame!
The Philippine government is nothing but a puppet to the U.S.
Shame!
So that's why for us, as Anakbayan San Diego, as a part of Bayan USA, an alliance of organizations united for national democracy in the Philippines, that is why our two biggest campaigns right now are to build the Tanggol Migrante movement, which means defend migrants in Filipino. And our other main campaign is to get U.S. military out of the Philippines. Because while our people are being attacked here in the U.S., those of us that can serve in the military, our youth, are also being recruited into the U.S. military and being sent to the Philippines, in our own homeland, to be deployed against our own people. When does the violence stop? When does the fascism stop? We must be the ones to stop it. Am I right?
Yes!
So we are here as Filipinos, as revolutionaries, to say we do not accept this.
No!
No!
The world does not have to be like this.
No!
There's more than enough resources And that's what we're fighting for. Maraming salamat.
Change the system!
Thank you, Shanika. Thank you, Shanika. Yeah, just take a moment. This is really an intense moment that everyone's feeling, and we're not gonna let this happen. And we're here because we care. So now I'd like to invite Eric from SD for Palestine. Come through.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
And end the occupation!
And end the occupation!
First, I want to acknowledge Adrian Villa, a 47-year-old resident of Skid Row, who died 2 months ago, found hanging in ICE custody. Shame! This is the first known death of an anti-ICE protester in Los Angeles, and the news only came to light this week, 2 months after her death. Shame! This is proof that this has been a moment that has building up. They have been waiting to manufacture consent to do this to you. The ICE raids in our communities, at schools, is taken from the same exact playbook of the Israeli occupation forces in Palestine. The abductions of parents and children mirror that of what is done in Palestine all across the West Bank. Raiding homes in the middle of the night, kidnapping fathers, mothers, children, holding them hostage. Over 10,000 hostages sitting in Israeli prisons right now. Many of which are children. When they are selling this technology of surveillance, they market it as field tested. What does that mean? It has been tested and tried on Palestinians for years. Palestine has been the testing grounds, a laboratory of this technology being used now in the US and elsewhere around the world. Shared systems of facilitating oppression, the border companies of the border down south and the same companies that facilitate the apartheid wall and extreme systems of segregation in occupied Palestine. This is what is called the imperial boomerang. They have been using the same violence already and have decided to bring it home. There is nothing different between you, me, a Palestinian, except being born in the right place at the right time. It is nothing more than a lottery of birth, and that is why our struggles are interconnected. I am not free, you are not free, unless humanity across the globe is free. They are trying to qualify immigrant humanity based on the idea of deservedness. Immigrants and refugees have been the backbone of our country. They try to tell us that immigrants and refugees are a burden to our country, but in my eyes, the only burden of this country is the billionaire oligarchy using our tax dollars to subsidize suffering in our communities and all around the world. No human being is illegal, period. And you don't need to prove your humanity by proving your worth through the exploitation of your labor either. Our tax dollars subsidize this oppression in the West Bank, the manufactured famine and starvation and genocide in Gaza, and the policing of our communities. They are attempting to overwhelm us, fearmonger, so we back down, so we get tired, so we burn out, so we give up. But will we? No! Will we give up? No! The genocide that's been live streamed for the last 22 months is proof of what they are willing to do to humans. Do not accept the standard of genocide, and remember, when push comes to shove, they are ready to inflict that same level of violence onto you. These billionaires don't care about people And remember, there's no difference between you, an undocumented immigrant searching for safety and a better life, or a Palestinian subjected to occupation, ethnic cleansing, and genocide for over 77 years. Never accept the standard of genocide. Never accept the oppression of another human being based on the idea that it doesn't concern you or it has nothing to do with you. We are one people, we are working people, and we are stronger together. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! ICE, KKK, IOF, you're all the same. ICE, KKK, IOF, you're all the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Again, free Palestine and U.S. imperialism. Now I'd like to invite Megan Afshan from Borderlands for Equity.
Good afternoon. Assalam, everybody. How are you? No, we're going to try that again. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you so much for coming down here and standing with us and continuing to fight this fight. We could not and we cannot do this without each other in solidarity, together, in lock and step, whether it's labor, whether it's climate, whether it's immigrant issues, whether it's civil rights issues. This is no longer a migrant problem. This is no longer a Mexican problem. This is no longer a Muslim problem. This is an everybody problem. I stand here with my brother Yusuf Miller, and we continue to see day after day our communities being torn apart, families being torn apart. We see children, we see parents, we see siblings being torn apart. And it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your status or your education or even your background, because they're even taking American citizens. They're taking students. They're breaking shame. We have to continue to put pressure, because no rights were ever given to us. We were fought for. From the inception of this country, I don't want to hear anybody say this is not our country. This is absolutely our country. This has been the country that we have lived in since its inception. It took over 250 years to end and abolish slavery. It took 7 years to end apartheid, and it's going to take whatever it takes to end this ICE attack on our communities. We cannot forget the rights and the civil rights movement, and we cannot forget our indigenous leaders that showed us how to show up in this moment. And all of our taxpayer dollars going to this genocide is not an excuse. We cannot allow this genocide to continue. We have to show up for the people of Gaza. We have to show up for the people that are continuing to be attacked across this globe in our name. We must stop it, and I don't care who you are, you have to show up now, because there may not be a later. With that, I want to say thank you so much to these organizers and introduce Brother Yusuf Miller to say a few words. And if you aren't available, if you haven't shown up to a civil disobedience or a non-violence or a community mobilization training, please join us. We're hosting one tomorrow. We'll be hosting them in the future events coming in the fall. Please connect with us at Borderlands for Equity, and we enjoin you to join us in every fight. No matter what happens, we stand together, we are together, and we will not quit until this ends.
My name is Yusuf Miller, and I'll just say one sentence. That their ugly is the same old ugly. And this beauty is the same old beauty. Show up. Continue to show up.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Megan. So with that, I want to thank all the speakers today. We're living through some very tough times, and we need to stand together to protect our communities from these evil, greedy billionaires and their Billionaires First agenda. From San Diego to New York, we're rising up. When billionaires attack, what do we do? Stand up and fight back. When billionaires attack, what do we do? Stand up and fight back. When billionaires attack, what do we do? Stand up and fight back. There are many ways you can fight back. Today we have Demand they stop funding surveillance contractors. Join local organizing efforts to protect immigrant families. Stand with your neighbors against surveillance and deportation. Keep building the movement for people over billionaires. Thank you all for coming out today.